Nancy Pelosi recently did an interview with Chris Wallace over at CNN, where Wallace asked her about setting a precedent for the Speaker of the House telling the minority leader who he can and can't have on committees. And the response Pelosi gave, I honestly believe, makes her look like she has a room temperature IQ. The old gal is losing it. You don't want to miss this one. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we are the antidote to the daily onslaught of radical woke Marxist propaganda. So back in February 2021, Nancy Pelosi put into motion to have Marjorie Taylor Greene removed from her committee assignments because she argued that Donald Trump won the 2020 election and because of posts on Facebook that she liked years before she got elected to office. Now, until about 5 minutes prior to that, Americans had the right to say whatever they wanted. During the interview, Wallace asked her about Speaker McCarthy having 3 Democrats removed from their committee assignments: Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, and Ilhan Omar. Now, Wallace pointed out to her that McCarthy said that it was she who created the precedent for a speaker to tell the minority party who they can and can't have on committees. And wait till you hear Pelosi's delusional response. All right, so let's give it a listen and just take note of how she weaves in and out of definitions. She says that they set a precedent, but then she says that they didn't set a precedent, that the Republicans are setting the precedent. She's crazy.
McCarthy says that he is going to kick 3 Democrats off their committees. Here they are: Adam Schiff, Eric Swalwell, Ilhan Omar. And he says that you set the precedent because in the last session, the Democrats kicked 2 Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar, off their committees. Here are the GOP leaders talking about this.
The Democrats have created a new thing where they're picking and choosing who could be on committee. Never in the history have you had the majority tell the minority who could be on committee.
The Democrats set a precedent that we urge them strongly not to go down last Congress. So obviously we're going to be looking very closely at who they appoint.
Didn't you open the door to this?
No, we set a precedent, which I hope they will follow. If they have members, as they did, who threatened the security of our members on the committee, were a danger to our members, threatening them, then they would go off the committee. So if they have that accusation about any of our members, let's hear what they have to say. It was clear that their members were a threat to our members. So this is about maintaining safety for our members. The fact that they want to take these people off the committee is more philosophical. So they have the votes, they could take somebody off, but that's for philosophical reasons. That's not the precedent that we set.
They would say Ilhan Omar has made a number of anti-Semitic comments. They'd say Eric Swalwell had a relationship of some sort with an alleged Chinese spy. Those are legitimate reasons to kick them off their committees.
Well, there's not legitimate reasons. If they want to do that, then that's the precedent they are setting. But don't say it's a precedent that we set. We set these people are a danger to the other members of the committee in their threatening manner and the rest. And that's why they're going off the committee, because they're a danger. If they want to set a thing about hearsay or rumor or actual statements that people make, then that's a different precedent that they are setting. But don't say it is our precedent, because ours isn't. We are respecting freedom of speech and the rest. And in terms of the Intelligence Committee, it's not a reason. It's an excuse.
Notice how she didn't say how Marjorie Taylor Greene threatened committee members, because she didn't. I think that was because the reason for why they kicked her off the committees was so ridiculous that she didn't want to rehash it in the interview with Wallace. So now free speech without threats involved are threatening diaper-wearing Democrats on committees? Greene never supported violence against Democrat officials or anyone. Her major offense was liking a post by someone else on Facebook, and she did that prior to being elected. It was years before she was elected to office, and that she supported some of the QAnon crap. Now, I don't hold that against her because a lot of people I know who are pretty intelligent people bought into the QAnon stuff because a lot of it did match up to things that happened. The QAnon stuff was a scam of two guys who created it to make money, and then they couldn't figure out how to do that, so they actually sold the rights to a group. She never commented when Senator Chuck Schumer threatened two U.S. Supreme Court justices. So for Nancy Pelosi to say that she didn't start the precedent of a speaker telling the minority party that they can't have certain members on committees is just out and out delusional. And it's exactly what she said. It doesn't matter why she did it. She did it. The definition of a precedent is an earlier event or action that is regarded as an example or guide to be considered in subsequent similar circumstances. Greene had liked the post before she was ever elected to Congress. She never made a single threat to any member of Congress. Pelosi lied about that in the interview. So Nancy Pelosi said she didn't create the precedent of not allowing minority leaders to pick people on committees, but I bet she forgets that she also told Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy that he couldn't put Jim Jordan or Jim Banks on her January 6th Select Committee. Now, were they threats to the people there? No. Instead, Pelosi selected two rhinos who were known Trump haters, little Adam Kinzinger and big Liz Cheney. Pelosi removed Paul Gosar from committees because he tweeted out a cartoon of AOC where the Democrats said that because of the cartoon, Gosar was making death threats to AOC. He wasn't making death threats to AOC. He put out a cartoon, for God's sake. Democrats are champions, and they get the gold medal for Olympic stretching. Pelosi just wanted any reason to get rid of those two because she considered them troublemakers, because they were not afraid to speak up at the stupidity of the Democrats in charge. Mark my words. So we're not going to let Pelosi get away with saying that she didn't create a precedent for a speaker telling a minority leader who he can and can't have on committees. She did it. And it was the first time in our history that it was done. At least McCarthy has good reasons for the three clowns that he has stripped from committee assignments. Adam Schiff is a piece of human debris. He has absolutely no problem looking you in the face and lying directly to you. Eric Swalwell, fang, enough said. And Ilhan Omar hates America. She is an ungrateful, sarcastic anti-Semite who should not be a member of Congress, let alone on committees. So the people up there, they can keep electing her to office, but hopefully she will not be on any more committees because she's nothing but a destruction force. Okay, so that's it. Thanks a lot. Thanks for spending time with us. We'll see you in the next one.